Well, the perfect league start has continued towards the winter break, but we've got a tough game away in the UK in Europe today. Given our lead in the Danish Superliga, I feel we can make it a priority now, and with the Danish Cup to follow as well, is about avoiding a banana skin that we almost had last time. Yes, hello, and welcome along to part 30 of the Coach's Head with me, Daniel. Our first season at Copenhagen, domestically at least, is still going to plan. And today we return in the Europa League, where we have also been magnificent. We go away to Rangers as I get to return to the UK, probably for the first time in my career in this series, actually. So let's see how we get on against them and then lower league opposition in the Cup as the winter break draws near, just 4 games away. If you're looking forward to it, please do chuck a thumbs up on the video. Dominant performances and results have continued, and those crucial wins against Midtjylland have definitely been the difference. Today, though, we are without our first choice striker and right back. We have had a couple of injuries in the last few weeks, but it has not affected the form a great deal. I'm really looking forward to the next episode with the January window, just to see if the director of football can get us a left back, can improve the squad. But for now, we can't argue with what's been happening. You were with me as we snuck past Midtjylland again by 2 goals to 1. We then battered Glentoran away from home. In fact, I returned to the UK a few weeks ago. There's a lie from the start of the episode. We went to Glentoran and won by 4 goals to 1. Goodmanson, a Bruno brace, and then Gunnar as well, getting one the youngster. Before a 5-0 win at home to Lingby, thanks to Højlund, Suarez, to Yumchu, Enghart and Schmidt. And then a 2-0 win last time out against bottom side Aalborg. Kevin Bruno with the early one. We were under no threat after that, but Tambakti did make it look comfortable in the end by getting a second. So all in all, I can have no complaints, and I think the way this is going, it might well end up being a one-season job. I know we almost went out the cup last time, but now we've got a fortunate draw next time as well. Maybe in the second half of the season, we'll learn a bit more about ourselves. But for now, let's go and get through to the fixtures with the dynamics all looking great. Good news on the contractual front as well for us, not in terms of the long term, but one player has been given an extended deal, and that is Luis Suarez. Started the season well. He scored 10 in 10 in the league, and he's now got an extra year on his deal, so he will be available until the middle of next season rather than this one. The big concern, though, is that Robert Lubicic is still out of contract at the end of December, and there's no other left back at the club. Yes, he'll then have 3 weeks to get a replacement before the European games start again, but that does leave me with a little bit of worry because who on earth are we actually going to play there? It's a serious question. Let's go and get through to the fixtures and Rangers away. It's been a perfect Europa League performance. When we consider all the leagues are loaded, some of the results we've picked up are remarkable. And to be top with 12 points after 4, I can have no complaints. But then Sturm Graz are up there as well. Adana are up there. And you look nearer the bottom and there's some surprise names. The likes of Braga, Shakhtar. Even in the lower ends of the qualification bits, the likes of Roma who have lost 2. When you consider all the leagues are loaded here, you would have expected a very different outcome. Let's go and get through the opposition instructions though, as Rangers are led up front by Shaquille Van Persie. They've also got the likes of Musa in midfield. The left wing is Luke Thomas and Jadon Anthony is a good side. And Callum McKenna's in goal. A man who we knew very well from our Southend save has become a good keeper here too. Better than we had in that one. Let's go and have a look at our team selection though. Mercifully, the match load has lightened, but I would like to strengthen the team a bit in an ideal world. I'm not going to get that luxury though, because Suarez, after his knock at the weekend, not fully fit. Romeo back from injury, but only 45 minutes recommended. The sub-keeper is not really fit, and Gendre and Lund not there either. So we have left the squad basically as the best it can be, and then we've got options off the bench if we're desperate. Defensively, we've not struggled at all. We've had most of the 4 centre-halves fit all season. But other positions have been a bit tougher. In this one, we have now got Gonzalo back, so he comes in on the right wing. Joe May drops to right back. Achori is going to have to cover the left of midfield, but again, just a little past his prime now. And the 11 in full is Jovan Diouf in goal. May and Lubicic the fullbacks with Gallego and Lund Jensen as centre-half. Bruno and Højlund forming a great partnership in the middle there, with Achori, Gonzalo, and now with Goodmanson, the front three for today's fixture. Goodmanson has done okay, but maybe against top opposition isn't the same quality. Let's see what he can produce in this one where he's probably going to have to play 90 minutes because we don't have many other options here. Well, it's 5 changes for Rangers, who have got a very interesting looking bench. A lot of younger players near the bottom. Maybe not the biggest squad in the world. Is that just a pattern we're seeing again in this universe? For us, it's a strong bench for the first half at least. Let's get through the dressing room. And to be fair, while our bench looks strong, a lot of them aren't fit. So maybe Rangers aren't in a worse position. We've got a few of the boys inspired. We've got the Europa League music pumping out at a full Ibrox. So let's see what performance we can produce. Remember, we've been brilliant this season, but when we had the one tough away day in Europe, it got really tough. Ajax beating us by 5-0, and that was the score at half time. Here, looks a little bit quieter so far, but not really going forward too much. Just keeping the ball at the back, hoping for a bit of luck. As Lubicic plays into Højlund, some spaces open up here. Gonzalo down the right, cutting in. Into side to Ummer, who's got support on the left. He goes in alone, though. Great effort. Good save, McKenna. It's out for a corner kick. Got a little bit carried away there, didn't I? It's out for another one with a Chori. Outswinging delivery. Who can he find? No one. The delivery's been better in recent weeks. We've been aiming for the 6-yard box more, but that time just didn't get enough on the cross. I guess he wouldn't normally be playing to take them. On this occasion, it peters out. Well, it's all gone a little bit quiet now, hasn't it? 38 minutes gone, but Rangers are getting in right on cue. Anthony at the back post. I mean, it's a free kick for offside, and he's lucky because I was about to say, how on earth have you missed that? As we approach the break, we're still lucky to be level. And Glentoran are holding Brentford, I say, as they concede. Let's get through the dressing room. I would be delighted with a point. I'm going to say, well, how can I say we've been the better team here? We've had one shot and they've had about 10. I will say to Tiunchu, I've got faith in you. He's happy enough. I'd love to keep him permanently next season. He's been one of the stars of the show for me. But we've offered nothing going forward. And while we've not been a constant threat defensively, you feel if this pattern continues as we tie up and as we give the ball away like that, Rangers will eventually take advantage as Jadon Anthony breaks down the left. As long as we don't concede 5. It's Avila into Musa. Chance to shoot. Great goal. Really good finish in the corner. With 5 gone in the second half, we are now behind. It's been coming, hasn't it? I mean, the good news is with 12 points, we're basically through already. And interestingly, the board only wanted us to be competitive in this competition, despite the fact they insisted that we make the Champions League group stages in qualifying. As Højlund delivers, the diving header away only finds a Chori. And Lubicic has a chance to get us back in it. Plays into a Chori. That's a terrible bit of skill. So telegraphed. He gives the ball away. And now Rangers are away with a chance at 2. Van Persie has scored plenty against us in the Southend save. What about this one? Tries to turn provider. May heads away. Thomas goes up to Anthony. Was he onside? He was, but he's through to the keeper. And we keep it at 1. But I just don't see where we score in this game. We're offering nothing. We're seeing a lot of it, but it's all Rangers' chances. As Højlund finds Gonzalo. That's terrible. Really, really poor. Anthony cuts in from the left to Sullivan. Good touch to skin the fullback. In he goes. Chance to shoot. Deflects onto the bar. And it comes away as far as Anthony. Into Thomas. Gonzalo nicks it. And Højlund gives it straight back to them. We can't get out our own half. We literally cannot get out. Thiago Santos flies forward. He puts it in. And it's wide at a post. It was a taunting spell that. We should have been 2 or 3 down. As it is, it stays just 1. And I guess technically we're still in the game. As we've got a free kick on halfway just past the hour mark. I will look at changes in a minute because if you look at some of the fitness and some of the morale down there, it's awful. Sullivan nicks the ball off Lubicic. It's been a mismatch down there. Releases Van Persie, who keeps drifting right. Jensen doesn't know whether he's coming or going to follow him. Aaron gets in on the edge of the box though. And that's just wide. Another chance goes begging. I'm almost tempted to bring on youngsters in attacking positions here. Just give it a go. Højlund is absolutely done, so we'll switch Bruno over and we'll bring on Federico Romeo, who needs some minutes. We're also looking at fullback, but I've got nothing that can come on the right-hand side. Gunau is not any quicker on the left, so it won't help us. Do I maybe take off Ashuri for Pint? And I can switch over Gonzalo. And then I might gamble it. I'm going to take Goodmanson off for the youngster Jensen. He's not had his best game. We need him fit because Schmidt's not playing at the moment anyway. So if we can keep Goodmanson fit for the cup tie, that'll work out as it is. We might concede a second before the changes are made though, because here comes Aaron down the left-hand side. Support through the middle. It's a big switch of play. Sullivan's there. Good ball into Musa and Van Persie. And he's blocked off the line by Gallego. Again, we give it straight back to them as we can't get out our own half. Thomas looks for Musa. Aaron again. Van Persie played on by the left back. And there is 2-0. Pending changes, which means, of course, you're going to get a goal. And we concede it. 2-0 to Rangers. And they deserve it. They're good value for the lead. We're just under 20 to go now. And with the game over, I'm just going to drop to balanced and almost go protection mode. We've got May, Lubicic, Tahumchu, Bruno, Gonzalo could all come off. Where are we not going to have players fit of the weekend? Probably defensively. So we're going to go Gun out for Lubicic. And I'm going to go... What can I even do in there? I think I have to bring on Winther. And then I'll maybe put Gallego holding midfield. That's the best we can do for now. 15 to go. Let's just keep it respectable. Well, as we approach stoppage time, we have managed 2 more shots, but we've not looked any more likely to score. We have hit the target a couple of times later on though. So a respectable defeat by 2-0. Rangers looked good, and to be honest, we looked physically knackered. We were missing a few too many players, and it cost us because we didn't have a goal threat either. And I tell the boys I'm not happy with the performance, but when your top 2 scorers are out, what do you really expect? The big one for us now is the Danish Cup. We'll be back in a few days for that, and hopefully we'll avoid a slip-up in the first leg. Well, as we return for fitness test time, it's been a worrying week or so in terms of messages because with the January transfer window looming, the positive is that Gendry's now fit. For the negatives, Valencia looking at Højlund, who is our star player this season. 14.5 million would be good money, but only if he gets replaced. Then further down, we've got the answer to our question, why is Lubicic not being offered a new deal? Well, because he has absolutely no interest in signing one. Great stuff. We'll be down to 0 left backs. For now, though, we've just got to focus on the football. We're at the 2-legged stage in this competition, so the quarterfinals are 2-legged affair. Our job today is just to make it very clear we're not going to be going out, and then we can enjoy the second leg with maybe a rotated side, and then focus on Sturm Graz the next week, where if we can win Europa League games, we're getting money into the bank, aren't we? So this one will go strong, then hopefully we'll be in a position to rotate for the second period. But they are playing the formation we struggle with the most. So let's see how it goes. Who can we bring back in? Not really anyone, because Gendry is, it says 60 minutes, but he's not fit enough, is he? Come on. Let's put a little bit of perspective into this. Suarez is fit and will come back in for a Churi. Goodmanson has ended his unhappiness because of Schmidt's injury, so he's getting more playing time. There's one positive from it. And I do kind of want to bring Romeo in, just so he can build up his match fitness, but I'm not going to go mad on that front. In fact, I'm going to wait for the second leg. I'm not actually going to change much, I don't think. Just noticed Lubicic has had a bid for Levante, so we're probably actually going to lose him. I will bring in the backup goalkeeper, because there's no excuse not to in this competition. I'm not going to put Gendry on the bench, though, I don't think. We're going to leave it as it is. We're going to head through to it. It is a big game for us as we try to avoid a banana skin that we almost went out to in the last round. And of course, we want to make it a domestic double, and this could take us one step closer. Well, with just 2 changes to the team, which are our goalkeeper and our left winger Suarez, which is actually a strengthening of it, we come up against a side that don't have a manager in there and don't have many names we recognise, but they are a lower league side in Denmark, so we've got to be realistic here. We're going to expect a much better performance. We're going to ask for plenty from the boys. I want this to not just be a win, I want it to be a comfortable one. And I want us to be job done going into the second leg. 5 minutes gone in the first half. It's been quiet so far. The first shot has gone to the host, which is a worry. They're trying to play out from the back, and I'm hoping here we can catch them. Even without our best striker, this one should be a win, as our second choice Goodmanson nicks it. Højlund cutting in from the right, a little bit sluggish in possession there. Worked out quite nicely having 5 days off. We've been able to keep the team together. But they're not looking incredibly fit at the moment, as they play out from the back here, the host, going long. Big ball towards Gallego, who heads it away for Bruno. Now's the opportunity with Jensen. Plays wide to Lubicic in what will inevitably be one of his last few games for the club now. And he's given away the ball as well. It's not a good start, and it's a long highlight. It's scrappy. We've nicked it back again with Goodmanson. Gets a second bite of the cherry after a poor first pass. And he makes it 1-0. We didn't deserve it from that passage of play. But 2 teams making errors galore. But our catalogue has opened with a prize. 1-0 with 10 minutes on the clock. That was our first shot on target as well. As we're back with the long ball forward from the hosts again. Lubicic should keep it in, but can he find his own teammate? Yes, he can. He gives it to Jensen, still in his own box. Højlund with his back to goal. Just goes to Ummer and we keep it safe. Can the goalkeeper stay fit for 90 minutes? Made his first start in the last round or the one before that. Unfortunately, only made it halfway through as Goodmanson gives it to Gonzalo. He's starting to look fit again. Can he find a moment of magic? To the byline he goes. Big ball into Suarez. And that should be game over. The winger's back in after a week out injured. And the one who had missed the month prior has set him up. That is what we've been missing. Well, just 5 minutes to the break. It's been a very comfortable display. And has got the ball in the holding role. Can we now get a confidence boosting one? Can we get a couple of youngsters on and scoring? All those questions to ask as Gonzalo works down the right again. He's set one up already. Gets it across the box for Goodmanson. And now he's set up two. Fantastic performance from him. And this is a level that he shouldn't be competing at. But he's building up his fitness. He's delivering the goods. He's taking us one step closer to another trophy. We've not had any since FC Gifu in his career. We missed out so many times with Willem too. I want to make it a domestic double here. And we're getting one step closer as Mikkelsen down the left. Clean sheet would be important today as well. No excuse for not getting one, really. As Mikkelsen goes back to Hasic and out wide. They are still causing us a bit of threat. And we saw against Randers, we can be susceptible. As Gallego heads away. The battle of the Gallegos up there as Suarez comes into the opposition half. Switches it right. It's a good run from Gonzalo, who's just tearing the fullback to shreds. Another cross goes in. Goodmanson there. Back to Højlund. It's 4-0. And this is an absolute riot now. We're dominating the game. We're battering the opposition. We're doing what we should have been doing last round. It's going to be 4-0 at the break. It's been a great performance. We can start resting people at the hour mark and totally for the second leg. Well, it's quite funny here if you look at the stats. We've only had 5 shots on target and it was 4 for our first 4 goals. It's not been one of our most ruthless attacking displays, but we've taken our chances. We've been clinical, but we've not created chances from all of the good openings we've had. As that free kick hits the woodwork, it's back to Bruno. And he tries to get in, but it's a good interception. And now we will make some changes. Joe May at right back is really struggling. Not as worried about him because Gendry can come back next time. So I might even leave him on here. What we are going to do, though, is just take off Gonzalo, who I cannot afford to get injured. Pint will replace him. We're also going to bring on Romeo for Bruno. We're going to bring on Winther for Tiumchu and put Gallego in there. I would take off Højlund as well. We'll go for Enghart in the middle. And then maybe, I was going to say Ganal for Lubicic, but there's no point now because we know Lubicic is leaving. I don't need to protect him. What I might do is just make the last change in a attacking area. We've got Suarez and we've got Goodmanson. Let's take Goodmanson off and bring on the youngster Jensen. Let him have another run out. He's only half a star away in terms of ability. Now, he's not quite the same type of striker. If we can develop these youngsters like we did with Torbed at Willem 2, it'll be another lasting legacy for us. With 15 to go, it's been a very professional display. We are definitely going through. And we've made amends for that defeat at Rangers. And now we can give these lads 9 days off, which will be lovely. We can send some of them on holiday for a week. Though, hang on. We've almost conceded. The sub-keeper makes a good save. Lundgren proving his worth there. Good signing he's been. And hopefully now he'll be able to get a run of cup games under his belt as the corner kick comes into the back post. Well dealt with by the goalkeeper because he had another shot to save. We've not been the best defensively, but the keeper's doing his job. His rating's above a 7 now. And that, I mean, we don't often score from free kicks and we still haven't because Pint touched it in and he was offside. Did he need to get a touch on that? It was a great delivery from Jensen, far better than anything else we've had. But if you look now, they've had as many shots on target as us. It's been a bit of a weird game because we've not been brilliant. But we just put the game out of sight early. And while they have come back into it, it is a worry if we rotate the side too much. I mean, I still think we'll get through, don't get me wrong, but we've had horror shows before. As Joe May is knackered, he gets caught there. I don't want to lose the clean sheet. And we have. Vatgar has caused us some trouble since coming on. And our performance has not been pretty, defensively in particular. Maybe that was just the fatigue for Joe May. We do win 4-1. We're going to be going through. But what an important spell this is coming up now. Because between here and the next episode, the January window will open and start to move quite significantly. We know we are losing the only left back in the squad. What are we going to gain in its place? Goodmanson does really well again. I didn't realise he was only 21. That's a promising sign as well. If we go and have a look at the schedule though, get them up by month. We are going to be back for the only 2 games we've got in January. The final games of the Europa League phase where we will be going through, but the question is in what position. And more importantly, the question is, in what position will we have players? Will we have a new left back in? Will we have any money spent? The transfers suggest that we've got money to spend. We've got wages that can be used, but we might be losing stars as well. It's already looking like Lubicic is off. Lund Jensen, Kasperlund, Oscar Højlund and Gudmundsson all wanted. How many of them will depart? If you want to find out the answer, then come and join me in a couple of days' time. Subscribe and turn that notification bell on to make sure you don't miss it. If you enjoyed seeing us defeated in the Europa League and overtaken by Rangers, then please do put a thumbs up on the video and let me know in the comments. Do I just prioritise Europe now and assume we're going to win the league? Doesn't look like Midtjylland are going to get close, and it looks like they've lost another league game. We're just too good at the moment. While you're waiting for the next episode though, and to see what our director of football pulls out the bag in January, you can find links in the eye above to our other playlist with Southend United, where it's been a bit more of a tricky season. There's also links there to the Twitch channel and the football podcast for regular content. But thank you very much for watching, for being here as always, and I'll see you back in a couple of days' time for a big Europa League doubleheader, and more importantly, transfer deadline day.